Hello everyone, and it's the third week of our Viking lockdown hoedown, and that means I'm on to chapter 11 of Thorfinn and the Nicest Viking and the Raging Raiders by me and Richard Morgan. So here goes. It was another 2 days before Thorfinn spotted land on the horizon. There was very little food left, and everyone's bottoms had started to itch. They'd all been wearing the same underpants since they left Indgar. "It's the north coast of Scotland," said Thorfinn, looking through his spyglass. They skirted the coast for a bit, searching. Finally they came to a wide bay with a long, white, sandy beach. "There they are," cried someone, pointing to the sails of the raiders' boats anchored next to a sleepy village. "Excellent," said Harold, rubbing his hands. "Now we have them." The Indgar longship beached with a huge jolt. Dozens of angry Vikings, led by Harold and Eric, leapt off, screaming, "Ah!" and charged towards the dunes. They were expecting a full-scale battle. They were expecting to be met with arrows, spears, and a wall of shields. And they were certainly being fired at. Eric got whacked square in the face with something squidgy. It was definitely not an arrow. "Yah! It's rotten fish!" he cried, scraping a huge splat of brown goo from his cheek. "Vikings hate fish!" Volleys of putrid seafood were being launched at them from catapults beyond the dunes. Splat, 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 splat. "Fiends!" cried Sven, battling the slimy missiles away with his shield. "Who fires rotten food at noble Viking warriors?" "Cowards!" snarled Wilfred. "Renegades!" roared Hagar. Harold swiped at the fish with his sword, slicing them in half, and raved, "You devils! You devils!" Velda parried the fish away with high kicks. Hi-ya! Oswald did the wise thing, pulling up his hood and hiding behind Eric. Thorfinn was standing right at the back, so none of the fish even reached him. In fact, he barely noticed what was going on. He gazed up at the clear blue sky with Percy perched on his hand. "Isn't this a beautiful beach, dear Percy?" The oil from the fish had made the beach very slippery. Harold's men slithered all over the place as they tried to charge over the dunes. They dropped their weapons and their legs flew out from under them. Ah! Harold's Viking warriors soon turned into a heaving mass of arms and legs. Ah! As they finally crested the dunes, Eric and Harold struggled to their feet and picked up their swords, ready to face their foes behind a wall of shields. But instead of a menacing army, they saw a bunch of people sitting around with their helmets and shoes off, watching and applauding. "Nice landing there, guys. Hope you enjoyed our leftover fish." There were men and women dancing about and others playing bagpipes. There were children playing. They'd set up windbreaks and parasols. A few were munching sandwiches. One or two had even fired up a brazier and were having a barbecue. "What is the meaning of this?" cried Harold, his eye twitching furiously at them. "Surrender or die," snarled Eric, spitting a fishtail out of his mouth. A tall, bulgy-faced, red-haired man put down the chicken leg he was eating, wiped his hands with a napkin and stepped towards them. "Ah, you win. We surrender, of course." "You what?" yelled Harold, insulted. He hated it when people surrendered, as it meant there would be no battle. And what made it worse, these people were Vikings, like them. "Vikings don't surrender!" They were funny-looking Vikings, though. They wore tartan along with their Viking helmets. The tall man shrugged, then stretched out his hand and smiled. "I'm Jerry the Pie Nosher. I'm the boss of this mob here. Rabble, more like." He laughed. But Harold was unamused. He slapped the man's hand away with his sword. "Vikings don't shake hands either. What kind of Vikings are you?" "Scottish ones," Jerry replied. And that's what they looked like there. And that's the end of chapter 11. Next is chapter 12, so you'll have to tune in for that tomorrow. And as a little shout out to my dear friend Harris from The Funny Man in Whitley Bay, I hope you're enjoying this, Harris. I hope you're enjoying it with your whole family in the house and having fun. Don't forget to wash your hands, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye. Bye, guys.